Hello friends, it's Heidi here with Kiddos Corral, and tonight I am making a carrot cake because my family is getting all together, and I make this cake a lot this time of year. I don't know if it's a fall thing or what, but I absolutely love a good carrot cake, and it's very, very simple to put together. So I'm going to put in this bowl all my dry ingredients, and we're going to start out with 2 cups of cake flour. There's one. Now you can use all-purpose flour if you want to, but I prefer the cake flour. I think that it makes for a moisture cake, and I just like the way that it works for me. There's 2 cups of bread flour. We want 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to put that in there. We want 2 teaspoons of baking powder. You want 2 teaspoons of baking soda. And 2 cups of white sugar. We're going to use a whisk as our sifter, and we just want to combine all of those dry ingredients together. Looking into my KitchenAid mixer, and we are going to put in 4 eggs, 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. Then we're going to slowly start combining in our dry ingredients. So I'm going to start with about half of our dry ingredients with our wet. I'm going to use a flat beater paddle to combine all of this. Now we're going to add the rest of our dry ingredients. And don't put the speed on too high or it will go everywhere. Okay, now we're going to drop in a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. It's going to give it some really good flavor. And then we are going to put in 2 cups of grated carrot that I grated in my food processor, but you can buy grated carrot in your grocery store. But I find that when I grate it myself, it has a better taste because they treat the carrots that's shredded in the bag, so it's not exactly the same thing as the old-fashioned way of doing things. So I'm going to add in my carrot. Just like so. We're going to combine those ingredients together. Okay, now we're going to add in 1/4 cup of chopped walnuts. Okay, I'm going to add that in. I'm just going to give this a quick mix. And now I'm going to get my 9x13 cake pan. I'm going to grease it with shortening, and I will be back to show you what it's like. Okay, you are looking at my 9x13 cake pan that I have greased with some vegetable shortening. And now I'm just going to give my cake mix just a final little stir with the spatula just to make sure that everything is good and combined in the bottom, because sometimes things can stick to the bottom a little bit, even with the mixer. And I'm going to pour all of this into this cake pan. Now, I like to make this cake a day in advance before I serve it, because the cinnamon and all of the yumminess in this cake absolutely come together once it sits for a little bit, because it takes on all of the flavors, and it's so delicious. I promise you will not regret taking the time to make this cake. I'm going to spread this out. My oven is preheated to 350 degrees. This cake is going to take about 50 minutes to bake. It's done whenever a toothpick inserted in the center comes out clean. So it's really simple to tell. Or if the cake pulls away from the outer rim of the pan, you will know that it is, you know, it's done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pop this in the oven. And then we're going to make some, once it cools, we're going to make some icing for this. We're going to top it with some walnuts, and I promise you, you will not regret making this cake. Now we are going to make the icing for the cake, and we are starting with a half of a block of cream cheese. We're going to add half of a stick of room temperature butter. And I have about a cup and a half of powdered sugar. We're going to add that in. Then I'm going to get my whisk attachment. Here we go. And we're just going to allow this to blend. I'm going to add in just a little bit of vanilla. Give it some good flavor. And I just want all of that to whisk together until it is really well and combined. There's my cake fresh out of the oven. It is piping hot right now. So you do not want to put any icing on it until your cake is completely cooled. So I've got my icing ready for the top of the cake. I've got my 1/4 cup of crushed, well, chopped walnuts. And I put it in my food processor and I just pulsed until it was nice and, you know, the size that I wanted. If I could send you what this cake smells like, you would be so wanting a slice of this cake. It smells fantastic. My entire house smells like cinnamon and wonderful goodness, and I cannot wait to ice this and eat this tomorrow with my family. But right now, I'm just going to allow this to cool completely. It came out really good and moist. It bounces back up whenever you press on it. And I am just going to get ready to ice this when it's cool. My cake is completely cooled. And now I'm going to put my icing on. Now I used up what powdered sugar I had, so it might be a little bit looser than it usually is, but it will be still really delicious. I just need to get this all out of here and get this spread on the cake. There is my cake, fully iced, and my frosting is a little bit thinner than it usually is because I did not have quite enough powdered sugar, but that is okay. It's still going to be delicious. And now I'm going to get my chopped nuts from my food processor here, and I am just going to top the entire top of this cake with these crushed walnuts. Just like that. See, you can't even tell that my icing was not perfect because look at that. Who would not want to dive into that cake? And it smells fantastic. I wish I could, you know, let's cut this. I gotta cut this. I got a plate and we're going to cut this. You guys ready? Oh man. Look at that. I'm going to pull this piece of cake out of here. Make sure I get it good and cut. Here we go. Look at that. Oh my goodness. That looks fantastic. Yum, yum, yum. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this recipe, give me a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. I'm going to take this piece of cake to my son, Dylan, and he's going to be very, very happy to get this tonight. I wish I could eat this, but my diet wouldn't allow it. But hey, my family's going to be happy tomorrow when we all get together. Okay, guys, let me know if you guys try this recipe. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great evening. Bye, guys.